Okay, this is the AMS multi-stage sediment sludge sampler. I'll just briefly explain some of the components to the kit, and then we'll actually go out here in the water and try and pull a quick core sample. Okay, the main sampling body of the kit consists of a core tip, 2" by 12" plastic liner, an eggshell core catcher, your actual 2" by 12" body, and then you've got your top cap. All of the components in this kit are stainless steel, with the exception of the slide hammer and your cross handle. The reason they're stainless steel is obviously you're going to be in water, you don't want it rusting. You can also decontaminate the sampler with some sort of an acid bath after each sample has been taken. To assemble the actual body of the sampler, you would go ahead and slide in your plastic liner, core tip, and core catcher. Then you'd screw on your top cap to the sampler. This top cap has a rubber check valve on top. It just sits on there kind of freely. Inside of the cap, there's been holes machined completely through the cap. So during your descent in the water, it allows the water to pass freely through the sampler. When you've reached the sediment and you actually drive the sampler in and go to retrieve it, this flap cap actually closes over those holes and creates suction. Along with the assistance of the core catcher, you can pull some really great sediment samples with this kit. The reason it's called a multi-stage kit is because you do have extra 12" sections that you can connect. You can make a 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, or a 4 foot sampler. To do that, you grab your main sampling body and you would just add these sections to that body. These are all male, female threaded. So if you wanted to take a 2 foot sample, you would connect it like so, put in your 2 foot liner, and put your top cap on. Obviously, you've got 3 foot and 4 foot liners available. Some customers choose to break their sample up in 12" intervals, so they'll actually put 4 12" liners inside the 4 foot body and break the sample up that way. The kit also comes with a different core tip. It comes with the AMS butterfly valve. Basically, it's just a one-way valve that allows the sediment to enter the sampler, and then when you retrieve the sampler, that valve will close. It's just kind of a loose valve in there. That's for if you're in some real soupy sediments. Also included in the kit are these 4 foot extensions. These are what you would connect to the top of the sampler if you were going to go through water first. You would just thread them on like this and then just lower it through the water. You've got 3 4 footers, so you've got enough to go through 12 foot of water first. Pretty important component to the kit is your slide hammer. You'll actually connect this to the top of your sampler or your extension, and it's got about 17 inches of stroke in it. So what you'll do is you'll just pound the sampler in, and you'll see how to use it when we go out here and take a sample. If the sediment is real loose, an 18-inch rubber coated cross handle is also available. You can actually push and twist your sampler in and then pull it back out. And then of course you've got your 2 crescent wrenches and your universal slip wrench, which this is actually, there's no wrench flats on this sampler, so you would actually put this around the body and use your crescent wrench to break this cap loose if you can't get it undone. Okay, now we're actually gonna drive this sampler into the sediment here. I've already pre-marked my extension to 12 inches, so when this yellow line gets to the top of the water, I know that I've driven my sampler in completely and it's time to pull it back out. So. Once you get down a ways, you don't necessarily have to hold on to the hammer. You can kind of throw it and let it do the work for you. Now that I've driven it in completely, I always try and pull the sampler out with my own force so as to not disturb the sample. If you can't pull it out by hand, you can always backhammer the sample back out. Slide your sample out. We've got a pretty decent core there. What I do now, after I've taken the samples, I'd use 2 of those plastic end caps, cap off either end, and then you've got a nice contained sample. As you can see with this core catcher in there, it's not really allowing that material to come back out. Pull it off and it comes out. So that's a pretty critical part of your sampler, is that little eggshell core catcher. And that's your multi-stage sediment sampler.